Welcome back. The last video was cut short due to some technical reasons, and I'm going to quickly complete that part before I move on to explaining the feed and medical log. I was discussing about the drop down. Whenever you click new registration, this drop down, the same way these other boxes are, they reset to 0. The drop down also will reset to the first what's it called, item on the list. It might not be that item that was used on that day, so which means whenever you are selecting or submitting data, you also need to remember to select the appropriate type of feed that was used, because this part is important, or very important. If layers match was used and you mistakenly put finisher, it will affect the report, because the system will assume you use, for example, 50 kg of broiler finisher when it's supposed to be 50 kg of layers match, and hence you will be having issues in balancing your records. The same thing applies to the broiler data. It's also here: finisher diet, starter diet, super starter diet. So now let us quickly move to collecting data for feed and medication. I won't be spending much time here, because the same concept that applies to broiler and layer also applies to feed. The database is on the right and the data collection is on the left. There are just some little things, like this feed, for example. When we want to collect new feed, okay, I won't be explaining it. I've already explained this one. We select the data we want to adjust, we click load data, it brings the data here for adjustment. And this one, I think this one is self-explanatory. It's used to navigate back and forth the application, but since we already have this, we will hardly be using this button, because we can easily, instead of pressing, this is number 19, instead of pressing this until we get to 1, you can just easily slide up, select the first data and load it. So this one is easier than pressing next and previous so many times. So now let us add new feed received. If we receive new feed, we click on new, just like we've been explaining. Now once you click on new, if you select update, it will just update blank data, which means on the 22nd, broiler finisher of 0 bag was taken in, 0 bag was taken out. Hence we are just wasting that part, that row in the database. So if we say new now, supplier name is compulsory when we are recording received goods. So because we want to know who is supplying. For example, let's say Top Feed is supplying us. Top Feed, or rather the name of the supplier can also be inserted. Let's say Auto Excel is supplying us broiler finisher. Like I explained earlier as well, let us make sure we are selecting the appropriate value here, because this one will automatically be resetting to the first value on the list. Say Auto Excel is supplying layers match, and the layers match is from any of these brands. Let's say it is Top Feed, and the quantity is 25 bags. Now as we input the 25 bags, the system also calculates the number of kg for us, and if we are inputting the number of kg, it automatically calculates the number of bags for us, so there's no need to do that calculation on a calculator. So once you do that, you click update. There is a rule in this application: you cannot record received and used inside the same row. For example, since we've already typed 40 bags received here, maybe on the same day we used 20 out of this bag, we now want to do it together by putting, maybe we use 5. The moment we press 5, you see the system automatically removes all this value, because we cannot do it together. It has to be separate. So let's quickly auto Excel collected, brought 50 bags. You can see that it has zeroed this one too, so we say update. Now we have on the 22 layer match was collected, the brand is top feed, and the total quantity in is 50, total quantity out is 10. So now after this, we can now say new value and record that, okay, layers match, top feed, and we used 5 bags. Now when we are using, there's no need to put the supplier name again, because we are the one using it. We know we are the one using it. But if we are receiving, is when the supplier name is mandatory. So we say update. If there's any comment, just like the other part of this application, it has a maximum limit of 150 characters. You can put the comment here and say update. Now it has updated the top feed, out bag to be 5. So this is collecting data for feed. It is as simple as that. And just like the previous lessons, you can also search feed by feed type. You can search by feed brand, you can search by date. If we want to search by feed type and we say broiler finisher, let's say finisher, now it will bring all the record we have on finisher. If we start by starter, now we can see that we type starter, it will bring super starter and broiler starter, because both of them are starter in them. So if we want to be more specific, we can just type only super. So we'll be sure that it will bring only super starter. But if we want to do for broiler starter, that means we'll have to type that in full. Broiler starter ST, that is it. It will bring only broiler starter. For feed brand, let's say top feed, it brings for only top feed. We will say supreme, it brings for only supreme, and the same thing applies to date. So that is that for collecting data. By now I believe that we've been able to collect data for broiler, layers, feed, medication. So in the next video I will be talking on collection of data for egg. Thank you very much and have a nice day.